the throne. By your life televised, we're breaking every bone. Adrenaline insurgents, brace from the fall. Hitting it with HardWire. Hear the engine scream. Living fast and reckless, this is our metal dream. Riding hard, never slowing me. In the spotlight we shine. A biker's brutal journey. This life is ours divine. With HardWire, the crowd screams our name. Chasing down the shadows, we're addicted to the fame. Chains rattling loud, the brotherhood's alive. Every episode turns up, we're here to survive. From dusk till dawn, we're the kings of this brew. Hitting it with HardWire. Hear the engine scream. Living fast and reckless, this is our metal dream. Riding hard, never slowing me. In the spotlight we shine. A biker's brutal journey. This life is ours divine. On the edge of chaos, we embrace the feel. Hitting it with HardWire, we'll always be here.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hittin' It with HardWire. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing all right? See, we got Barbie and Gary and Warland's in here. Carney, hey, what's happening? Carney's in here. Frank. Yeah, I was running just a little behind because I was in the process of finally setting up a few of these buttons on my board. Some of these are really good. You're gonna love them. You just have to let me know. Let me know if you could hear this. What do you think of that? You like that one? Can you hear it? Wah, 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 wah. Check this one out. You're gonna love this one. You're gonna love it. Shit. I got one from Mike from his show doing shit. Shit. I love that. That's my new favorite button. Shit. Shit. That's fantastic. See if you know who this is.
Wow, man. Wow, man.
Oh, I'm a dork. I love this shit.
Wow, man.
See if I get copyright struck for that. It was real short. Back when cartoons used to still be cool. Oh, I got a whole bunch of them. I could set up different banks of those, and yeah.
Wow, man.
Oh, I'm such a dork. That's all right. Hey, Mike, you hear my new button? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's great. I figured out finally how to set up my buttons. Now I got to go out and find a whole bunch more samples. Different things I can put on my board. Mike will get mad at me for that one, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. Yeah. That was fun. That was fun. Fun setting them up. And I had to watch through some of Mike's videos to try to catch just the right one. Him doing it. And then I had to Had to cut it, clip it, steal the audio, take the audio off of it, and then turn it into an MP3, then load it into the board. But it wasn't a terrible process. Took a little bit. Yeah, Mike, that is you.
Shit.
Yes, Mike, I took that from one of your episodes there not too long ago.
Shit.
Hope you don't mind. That's my new favorite button.
Shit.
Or the Cheech and Chong one.
Wow, man.
Wow, man. Tom and Jerry. Oh man, it's good to see you guys. What's up, Lee? You made it too. Cool. We got Lee and Mike, and we got Lee's old lady. Mike, if you don't like it, I'll take it off. I just thought it was fun.
Shit.
I didn't figure you'd mind. I don't have any famous little expressions or sounds or anything, and I can't sample none of my own stuff. Anyway, went to Pennsylvania yesterday. Had a good time. Yeah, Redneck Side's got a new work area. He was sent me a picture of a little bit ago, and let's see if we can get him to send me enough footage I can edit a little segment together and show all of you. See if we can get that. I think he wants to start doing a little bit more YouTube and stuff, and maybe do some interviews and stuff. That'd be cool. It's always awesome to have a new member of the family making shows, man. It's always awesome. Anyway, man, this has been a crazy week. We got old Justin Trudeau decided he was going to resign. We got Trump saying he wants to buy Greenland, annex Canada, and take the Panama Canal back. All good ideas, I think. I was just arguing with Biker News Canada. He was on Facebook arguing with me about the whole Canada thing. I said, hey, it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. I don't know why you guys take it that way. You get a lot of America's freedoms. Canada's already practically for years almost already been a part of the United States. Might as well have been. They're basically sucking off of America. They have been for years. Biker News Canada says that hey, we won't send you guys energy and a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, dude, we don't really need anything that you guys have. You guys by far take more crap from us, take more of our stuff. What the hell do I got on me? Yeah, wardrobe malfunction. I have to get on the old lady about it. All dry. Your snow finally melt. We got a bunch more too. We're supposed to get a bunch more tonight. Oh yeah. Anyway, nobody's trying to take Canada's history. Canada does have a long, very historic history, and I think if they would join with the United States, it would create a new chapter in a very awesome, long, storied history. I don't see why everybody wants to make a big deal out of it. It would be beneficial for them, beneficial for us, and it would create a major super, country. It would be fantastic. I don't see why they don't want to do it. I mean, granted, we would get a lot more kind of liberally people. Not necessarily a good thing, but diversity makes a country, man. It takes all kinds, and we'd welcome you in, man. I would. I'd love to be able to go up to Canada whenever you want. Go do some fishing. You could travel all the way to Alaska, and it'd all be one big giant country, man. It would be fantastic. You guys could come down here and hang out anytime you wanted. I don't see the downfalls of it other than getting a bunch of liberals. Nobody said you can't be proud of your country. The only difference is now you'd be proud of your state. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You'd still be proud of it. I don't get it. The benefits would far outweigh the negatives, man. Far outweigh the negatives. This is cool looking clouds. I'm so cool, I even blow cool clouds. You got a break from looking at my ugly face for a minute. Oh, okay, off the Canada subject. The Panama Canal thing. Yeah, well, apparently they said that the Panama Canal was costing America tons and tons of money to try to keep operating. I don't know if I buy that entirely. We'll get it, fix it up, make a business out of it. We can't let Canada control, or not Canada, Canada on the brain. Can't let China control it. China wants to basically control it. Hell, they're all over South America. They're practically fucking dandruff. They're all over. They're I guess from what I understand, they're taking huge interest in South America, which we shouldn't be letting happen either. What was the other one? Greenland. I thought that was kind of a joke originally, but it turns out a lot of people, I don't know what they call them, Greenlanders. A lot of Greenlanders feel like Denmark has been using them for years. And I'm sure there's a lot of Greenlanders, Greenlandians, or whatever they call them, that wouldn't like it. But I'm sure there's a lot that would, apparently. I didn't think any of them would like it. But apparently there's a lot of them that would. And I think it'd be good. It'd be a cool place to be able, and then you kind of like Puerto Rico, we'd be able to travel over there anytime we want and hang out and check out. I guess it's really beautiful country up there. I mean, even if it's like Canada, you don't, it's like Puerto Rico, you don't necessarily have to become a country, although you can become like a territory of the United States, which I don't like. I wholeheartedly disagree with countries that want to, or places that want to be part of the United States without being a part of the United States. Because then they want to get all the benefits without having to contribute. Yeah, I don't like that. But there's a lot of ways to make it happen. Biker News Canada kept saying that, you guys wouldn't take us by force, blah, blah. I said, nobody ever said anything about taking Canada by force. See, the thing is, all we have to do is cut the umbilical cord. You guys have been basically like leeches off our back for years and years. I mean, I know that's kind of a dickhead thing to say, but it's the truth. You guys have been literally like a little lamprey on the back of America, sucking off of America for years. And I'm wholeheartedly against, if you don't want to become a part of America, that's fine. Stay your own country. But we're going to snap that umbilical cord and you guys could sink. That's what's going to happen. Because you guys are not self-sufficient. You aren't. You cannot survive without America, without sucking off of America. Like it or not. I know that's kind of a jerky thing to say, but the truth is the truth. Hey, what's up, Code? Thanks for stopping in, man. Blowing some big clouds, man. Check it out. I'm a little worried. I said something to my old lady about going down to the weed store and getting some more gummies, man. We had some fairly weak ones. I said, get something a little bit stronger. And the last one we had was a little container, and it said 100 milligrams for the whole container. And it was only like 5 milligrams of gummy or something. And I could take one, and I wouldn't get high, but I'd get nice and mellow. So she comes back with this. These are says 10,000 milligrams per container, 500 milligrams per gummy. I'm like, holy crap, Dan! You went from, and it says right on here, ultra high. And she just took a whole one. I told her she gets to be the guinea pig. I said, you're going to be sleeping by the time my show's over. She goes, it's sativa. It don't make you sleep. I said, when you get really high, you're going to want to lay down and close your eyes and hope the ride's over. She'll be sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that button. I love that button. That's my new favorite button.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
I like the Cheech and Chong one too.
Wow, man.
I didn't even take one yet. I'm a little worried. I might have to take a little nibble off of one. Little tiny nibble. Oh, yeah. We got California on fire, and you believe them? Them morons keep saying every time that somebody tries to hold him accountable. You know what they're saying? We shouldn't politicize this and make it politicized. I'm like, dude, you're a politician. Everything you do is politicized. You know, you're a politician. That's the point. They're trying to hold you accountable for the absolute atrocity, the horrible job that you're doing. There's no right-wing politicizing about it. If you're doing a horrible, horrible job and you did something to cause this much horrific damage, and there's whole cities that are gone, man. And I was the first one to say that I don't feel sorry for some of these rich people, but there's a lot of poor people there too, you know, and yeah, they don't deserve any of this. No, nobody deserves any of this, even the rich guys. But the only reason I don't feel sorry for like the Hollywood elite that lived in California is because they got the money. You know, they got the money. They did lose. They lost, you know, precious valuables that can't be replaced, and like I seen Mel Gibson the other day saying he had a bunch of precious paintings, and that's something else to consider, man, and unique books. And I'm like, I never really thought of that. There's probably a lot of precious paintings, possibly even like Van Goghs, and because these are the people that own those things, Van Goghs and books that are lost to history now forever because you can't replace them. That's really something to think about. And that's horrible. That's a damn shame. I know, I really wasn't thinking about that until I seen Mel Gibson say that because his home burned down. And I did watch the Mel Gibson on Joe Rogan the other day. Let me tell you what, that guy's got a lot of screws loose. He's not wrapped too tight. He makes good movies. Maybe that's what it takes to make good movies. I don't know. You got to have a fairly good imagination. But the bad thing is it seems like Mel Gibson ain't too sure the difference between imagination and reality because he's kind of he's kind of out there, man. Think of all the sex dungeon and the people chained up. Hopefully they all got out, man. That'd be horrible if, all the whores died down there. We need whores everywhere. Most of them people had enough money that they could buy another 2 or 3 houses and it won't even phase the amount of money that they have. Even if insurances don't pay out. I don't know. Any records they didn't, that were floating around at they probably already burned all that. So the second that they found out that Diddy was going to prison, anybody that had anything probably destroyed it or turned it into the government. And I don't think it would have been held in Hollywood anywhere. But you never know. You never know.
Shit.
Yeah, fucking. It's been a bit of a crazy time, man. When Trump gets into office, I don't think any of this stuff's, mind you, I don't think any of this stuff's really going to happen to Trump, like buying Greenland or Canada or any of that stuff. I don't think it's going to happen. But it's interesting because Trump is 100% correct in the fact that a lot of these countries have been taking advantage of the United States for years. And if they don't have our economic support, which we need a lot of that money. So, hey, if we got to cut you off, sorry about your luck. We can't keep floating other countries when we're struggling ourselves. We can't keep it up, man. We just can't. We can't keep it up. We got to get rid of our own debt. Pretty soon we're going to be so far in debt and we already are so far in debt that there's just no hope. There's no hope that you can ever come back from it. And I know Bill Clinton, he bragged that he actually balanced the budget, but we need more than a balanced budget. We need more than even. We need to have a surplus that can go towards paying that debt off. See, the bad thing is, as government, every time they find a way to save money, they find a way to spend the money that they saved. They'll find other ways to spend it instead of using it to pay off the debt like they should. I wonder if a lot of them rich people will rebuild there or sell the property, because if they own the property, it'll still be, they still have something that's worth something, the land itself. But they won't be able to sell it for anything like what they would have before with all this shit happen. And I don't know if you guys noticed or not, or paid attention to the news, but there was like a big 157,000 gallons of water that was offline, for repairs when they were running out of water. I mean, technically, I don't understand how you're running out of water. You're right next to the frickin' ocean, okay? Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's fresh water or salt water you're dumping on that fire; it'll still put it out. I mean, you can't run out of water. Oh, you're talking about Mel Gibson? Yeah, he's made some really good movies, man. He's made some fantastic flicks. I seen him on when he was on Rogan talking about the new one. He wants to do a sequel to the Passion of the Christ, about what happened. And I just heard somebody else talking about, wouldn't it be awesome if somebody was able to pull off making a movie about what happened after Jesus died, and Mel Gibson's apparently got the whole script written, got a green light on it. He said it's really, really ambitious because pulling off some of them scenes are going to be really hard. He said he's got some ideas of how to do it, uh, and it's really ambitious. It's going to be really difficult to pull off. But I'll tell you, if anybody can do it, he can. There's not too many people that can pull off something like that, and I think he could. That's crazy. The only positive that'll come out of all this is look at the amount of jobs that are going to be created in construction. There's going to be a ton of rebuilding to do, a ton of cleanup. It's going to put a lot of people to work for years and years to come, between rebuilding and all that. What's up, Carney's Ride? Did you say something to me? Oh, do you have Cash App? I have Cash App. Yeah, he's going to make a movie called about the resurrection, about what happened after. Well, a big chunk of the movie, I guess, is going to be what happened before he re-arose. The whole deal where Jesus ascended into hell and fought, and won for all of us, and that's going to be hard. That's what he's worried about, as being the hardest thing to show on screen, and how he's going to pull it off. It'll be interesting. That'd be interesting to say the least. It'll be difficult to pull off. It will definitely be an awesome, awesome movie. If he manages to do it, and with modern day special effects, the way things are now, dude, you could do almost anything. You could do almost anything with modern special effects. This chair, gotta get the chair out of that scene there. Well, they can pull off Harry Potter and everything else. Harry Potter. Well, hell, Harry Potter's old now, but there's a lot of movies now. If somebody watched some of the movies they're making now and the special effects they're making now, if they watched them 20 years ago, they would think it was wizardry, because they would think it was real. Yeah, some of the ones, if you go back far enough to, like, I lose track of time because I'm getting old. If you go back, say, the 90s, and you showed somebody a movie that we're capable of making now, they would absolutely be losing their minds. It blows my mind all the time. A lot of times when I watch movies, newer movies, I'm just absolutely amazed with what they can do now, and it's getting better all the time. pretty soon they won't need actors. They'll just be able to make lifelike animation. They're close to that. Believe me, I watched a couple of. See, there's a new series. I can't think of the name of it. I think it's called Secret Level. Some of the animation they pulled off in that, it's just absolutely amazing, man. And I'm not one for too much for some animation, but I'm telling you what, this stuff looked awesome. And when they did the one about Dungeons and Dragons, it turned out awesome. I wish they had made a whole movie like that. Minus the real fast cuts. If you watched it, it cuts really fast. And if you ever took videography or anything like that, the human mind has trouble following things if the cuts are too fast. And it's the only time you should do things like that is like during music videos or things where you don't have to really follow it. If it's part of a story, you have to have slower cuts. You can't just bam, show up for a second and hurry up and shift to something else. You have to have at least a certain amount of slower cuts in order for the human mind to follow it. If you start yap going too fast, it creates almost a confusion in the brain. Yeah, I don't. Well, I think they're already making some AI animation, but the thing is, AI is not quite to the point where if you watch it or listen to it, it says things that's not quite the way a person would say it, and you could tell. You can catch it real pretty easily right now, but it will get to the point where you can't tell eventually, and it's starting to get there. Yeah, Redneck Side's got a cool new workshop there. Uh, Hopefully, if I can get him to send enough videos, maybe even some pieces of him stitching a few whips up and making them, I can get some segments of that, and then maybe a shot of the laser, like lasering something out, and then just a few different enough things that I could get pieces of to make a segment, uh, and I can edit something together for you, and we can air a new segment because now the one I made's kind of outdated now. It's a segment of the shop, and you had to get rid of the shop, so that's kind of that sucks. I went and did all that. That's all right though. I just want to be helpful. Uh, Mel Gibson said he was up in the air about whether or not he would make the new one in English or do the Aramaic like he did with the original Passion of the Christ. Joe Rogan was trying to talk him into doing it in the original Aramaic because a lot of people thought it added a lot to the movie, the originality and the what's the word I'm looking for, the realism of the picture. And Joe Rogan was trying to talk him into doing this one, the next one, kind of the same way. And Mel Gibson didn't. He was like, I was up in the air about it, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to do it in regular English this time. And yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure. I'm kind of up in the air about which one I think would be better. Yeah, we got to get the word out about old Redneck Sides. The stuff that he makes. He makes good stuff. And the Steelers lost yesterday. No surprise. I wasn't surprised. I was disgusted. But it's what I expected. That's exactly what I kind of expected to happen. They are an absolute dumpster fire this year. I'm telling you what, and to make it the way they did, and to prove they had the talent, and then just totally jump off a cliff with it. I was a defender of Mike Tomlin for years. I defended him when other people didn't. I always blamed Matt Canada for a long time. Matt Canada's gone. It helped getting rid of him, but it proved this season especially proved that wasn't the only problem. I'm tired of defending Mike Tomlin. I think he's got to go. I really do. I think he's starting to call him mediocre Mike, because they keep saying that he's he's half, or he wins more than over 500 every season, but his playoff record is now 3-9, 3 wins to 9 losses, and the only 3 that he actually won were Cowher's team. Yes, this is high quality stuff, and you won't find this nowhere else in the world. This is fantastic. This summer, I'm actually going to start doing a little bit more recording outside and post some shorts and whatnot. I think I'm going to post a short of me beating the crap out of a watermelon or a pumpkin or something. And we'll go out and just beat the daylights out of it and whoop the shit out of it and record it and put it on. I think that'd be fun. I think that would be loads of fun. Guess you're supposed to look where you're putting something here, so it don't come flying off. I got a bunch of computer parts laying around here. We got this thingy, and some of these thingies, and got this thingy. I've been working on my computer a lot, trying to find ways to improve things. I got the motherboard on this computer's got it's very limited options here, and I'm trying to figure out ways that I can optimize the best I can with what I have without trying to replace the motherboard for a better one. It's only got a 1X PCIe slot, so and I've got a bazillion things plugged into it. So ultimately, I think what I'm deciding to do is go with this deal here. Not that Yinzer computer. Oops, I ripped the box. I don't have to send it back. I know you guys probably aren't computer nerds like me, but I think I'm going to do is I'll go with this gizmo here and my little 1X PCIe slot. And it'll add more peripherals since I got so many things plugged in, because I got what do you call them? Not dongles, but these kind of things with splitters to run my cameras and everything else, because I've got so much shit plugged into this computer. My Ethernet, because you got to be wired. You can't do this on Wi-Fi. Not if you want it to work good. My Ethernet that's on the motherboard is only 1 gig, and I have 2 gig internet. So I got a had to get a different Ethernet card, or what I got's like a Ethernet dongle, so that I can get the full 2 gig speed, which will make things work better. Yay! I'll get full speed, and there won't be no connectivity problems. And I know some of it's overkill, but when it comes to things like this and trying to broadcast an image and send it and have good quality, you got to have good internet, even if it's way too fast. You got to have reliable, fast internet. Code. Now, come on. You know you could watch the show on your phone while sitting in front of the TV watching the Eagles game. That's what I do sometimes. Well, not the Eagles, but I watch it on my you guys' show on my phone while I'm trying to do something else all the time. But thank you for stopping in. You don't have to do that. I'm just giving you shit. I seen something about what's this AI is doing covers of songs like Axl Rose singing Bryan Adams. I would have to see that. You got to send me that. That's got to be hilarious. What's happening, Gigi? How you doing? It's good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. Yeah, I had a pretty good weekend. I got to chill a little on Friday, and well, I did something on Friday, a little bit of something on Friday, but I already forgot what it was. Being an old man sucks. You do things, forget it really quick. Yeah, then I got to, we left early in the morning and went over to Pennsylvania and hung out with some good brothers over there. So that's always a good time. Bought me some big old coffee cups. At actually a decent price, laser etched with the club thing on it. And my old lady had to get a support one because old ladies can't have, well, if anybody's been around that, Hey, it's the Vengeful Truther. What's happening, man? Thank you for stopping in. We've been talking about a little bit of everything. California on fire. Justin Trudeau. A little bit about Donald Trump. Yeah, I can't. For the life of me, I can't believe they can't get Gavin Newsom to resign. He just acts like it's not his fault, and it's all these crazy leftist policies and trying to save the earth according to them. And they'll go on and on about, they'll tell you, all climate change is real. Climate change is real. And you know what? Climate change is real. It is. But it's not caused by humans. It's caused by Earth. Earth has went through changes in climate ever since it existed. And the temperature worldwide has gone up and down. It goes through cycles. It's going to change. And we cannot have so much hubris as to think that we can have any effect or do anything to really change it. So why in the hell are we making ourselves suffer to end climate change whenever you can't end climate change? You can't do it. The earth is going to do what it's going to do, and all we can do is enjoy our time here and try to adapt to whatever the change is. If it's getting hotter, we're just going to have to get used to it. If the ocean levels rise, you're just going to have to move inland. That's just the way it is. And it's going to change, and there ain't nothing we can do about it. It's like storms and everything else. You just got to get out the way, because Mother Nature is going to do what it's going to do, and we are powerless to stop it. All we can do is survive it. What's up, AU? How the hell you doing? It's good to see you. It's always good to see everybody. We have a good channel here. Really do. See, we got, if you want to make donations to the channel, if that's your thing and that's what you want to do, there's where you make donations. That's the progenitor of the Insane Wheels Network family. And all donations made to Mike and the CEO of the IWN Insane Wheels Network only helps the families. So if you want to donate to that. If there ever becomes a time whenever my channel, I've had enough time in or watch hours or whatever it is that they require now to be monetized, if I ever get there, then I might make a little bit of something from it. But maybe someday I'll have a little help HardWire out fundraiser or something, maybe someday, to help pay for some of this stuff I bought. But yeah, I don't really have a big enough following. I mean, I have a lot of subscribers, but not enough that show up on the show and watch on a regular to raise very much. Not enough to really be all that helpful. I do this mainly because I enjoy doing it. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. I enjoy chit chatting and BSing and I just enjoy it. I don't do it for money. I don't think there's enough, unless you're at an Andrew Wilson level, there's enough money in it to really make it worth all that. Oops. Try to turn that back off. I tried to get on Rumble. I watch things on Rumble once in a while, but holy moly, the amount of advertising they start putting in there is off the hook. But their videos, the way you have to put your videos on there is harder than YouTube. It's there's this kind of like Instagram where you have to go in and get a key, or I think they call it a stream key or something, and you have to generate a new one for every show. You have to go in and paste that in into. It's just a huge pain in the butt. So I gave up on trying to do that. I can't even get it to work with Instagram. But I do broadcast simultaneously on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Those are the only ones that make it easy. All you gotta do is broadcast and
Yeah.
and it's easy. I do love that button. It's hard not to sit here and press it.
Shit.
I don't know why that's that's only comes out of the right side for some reason. But yeah, Mike, thank you. I give you all the credit in the world for your shit.
Shit.
I would be tickled, absolutely tickled, if I could make what is it, about $100, probably about $100 a month that it costs me to do this, between StreamYard and the other things I got to subscribe to do this. I would be tickled if I could just make that much extra just to pay for being able to do this rather than take it out of my own pocket, because I pay for all this out of my own pocket to stream and have the streaming services that I need to make the show. Uh-oh. Mike will argue with you about Streamlabs. He claims that their stream, I keep wanting to say Surfshark, that's the VPN company I use for some of my stuff. He'll tell you that this StreamYard's better. It's easy. There's a lot of things I wish it had that it doesn't, though. But they are adding new features all the time. But they keep raising the price. God damn, I tweaked something in my back this weekend. I do not know what. It hurts like a bee. I believe there's 500 milligrams in one of these. I can't do it. I will be on another planet, and I won't be able to do the show. So I can't do it. Apparently, because I joined on Mike's link. Mike sent me a link, and my link is usually in the YouTube description. If you join through StreamYard through the link, you get a discount. And they raised the prices, I guess, but I'm still paying the original price because of the discount, and I think it might be because of when I joined. But I'm still paying the original monthly cost. But man, with all the things that you need to do a stream and do it good, there's a lot of subscriptions that you got to join, and it ain't like it used to be, where you could just buy programs and stuff. Supposedly there's a way that you can do this through, I think it's vMix. I think OBS, you can do this through OBS, which is free. But I have not figured out I don't know how to make the stream go on. And YouTube has an app, I think, where you could do it directly if you're only doing YouTube without having to pay for it. OBS is pretty complicated. I mean, I downloaded it and worked my way around in the program, and I could figure most of it out. When I was using my laptop, though, it used to freeze my laptop. I think it was something to do with the laptop not able to provide enough power to keep all my cameras on at the same time, because OBS always kept all the cameras working at the same time, so you could switch between them and you could see what was on them all the time. And I think That's just me. I think the laptop itself wasn't able to provide enough power to keep everything going at the same time that it was crashing my laptop. I probably could try again with my new setup, and it might work pretty good. I have not figured out how to make OBS stream, but I probably could. There's a learning curve, but I can usually, being smartish, being smart-ish, I can usually figure most things out. OBS seems to me to be, because it's open source, people, I assume, have added and taken things away from it over the years and tried to do things to it. It does seem a bit cluttered, and there's a lot of things that are unnecessary. Now, if I was good at figuring out how to remove things from it, if you could remove all the things that you don't want and only put in there the things you do want, turn all the other crap off, that would make it user-friendly and nice, because when you're streaming, you don't need a lot of them things that it does have. It has a lot of unnecessary stuff in there that's be useful only to some people that probably mostly that do the recording and don't do lives. People that do live, a lot of that stuff's totally unnecessary for people that do live streams. Oh yeah, I don't mean to. For long pauses of silence, I'm reading your comments. Yeah, like I said, OBS was crashing my laptop. My laptop was a fairly had a good processor in it and a good video card and stuff in it, but it was still crashing my laptop. So I assume it just doesn't do well with laptops. Uh-oh. Lots of nerd talk going on. Steve, you wasn't here for the last week's show. That was just a whole show of nerd. It's a whole show of nerd talking about quantum physics and string theory and all kinds of geeky stuff. Last week's show was way worse. Way worse. I didn't really spend a bunch of time like trying to find footage of stuff to put on. Last week was the first time I ever really put something on the show for everybody to watch. Watched it with you and did the reaction thing. And it ended up being a really long show. I don't know if anybody liked that. I never really got any feedback from anybody about whether or not you liked me doing that or if you prefer the show where it's just me talking to you guys. I'd like to mix that in a little bit more, maybe not quite as much as I did last week. But yeah. I had fun. I enjoy a lot of that going down a lot of rabbit holes with all kinds of nerdy stuff, quantum physics and string theory and astronomy. And I've been sitting and watching a lot of computer videos about building computers because I used to build computers. Finding out what's new and happening and what's going on. Just to give you an idea, when I first took my first computer class was on an Apple IIe. If you got to be old to remember them things. Everything was basic, what they call basic. I was always pretty good with computers. But when they asked me, why don't you go to school for computers and you're so good at it, I said, computer technology is changing constantly. And I hate school, and I do not want to spend the rest of my life going to school, because if you're into computers, you're going to go to school periodically every couple of years the rest of your life, because you got to keep up with all the new stuff, because it's constantly changing. Oh, you go, if you get a chance, go back and watch last week's show. I don't think you missed much. I enjoyed it, but I don't really know if anybody else did or not. There wasn't a whole lot of people in the room, and like really a whole lot of viewers watching at the time. So I just went with it. I enjoyed it. Always got to remember one thing. Above all else, since I'm not getting paid to be here, I'm here for me to have a good time, enjoy talking to you guys. I would like for you guys to be a little more involved. If you, I can't make you, by any stretch of the imagination. I would like more input from people. You can email me and give me, let me know your ideas, and let me know if you can come on the show. Hell, if any of you can come on the show sometime and just to chat, or if you have an idea for an interview or anything like that, just let me know. It is. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than paying a therapist. Dude, I went to a therapy for years. And you know what I took away from it? Therapy is absolutely fucking worthless. Absolutely worthless. Don't let them people take your money. They don't do anything for you that you can't do for yourself. Anything, except for maybe write prescriptions. But most of the garbage they give you, you don't need. That's what I took away from years of therapy. I used to have the therapist tell me all the time, you're a smart guy. Seems like you know what you need to do. All you need to do is actually do it. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. I always had the best advice in the world for everybody else. I had the best advice in the world for myself, but I just following through and doing what you know you need to do. That's the hard part. So everybody that's here, write down that email. Write that email down. Write it down. Write it down. Some of you are on my Facebook. Some of you are on my Instagram. Some of you are on my X. I have Instagram and X. And you can instant message me on there if you have ideas. Every once in a while, somebody does leave messages to me all the time. See, I get messages. Get messages from Steve once or SNS once in a while. It's always good to hear from everybody. If you have ideas for a show, that's cool. If you're ever in Ohio and you want to come and hop in the other chair here and enjoy making a show with me, you're more than welcome. But here's the thing. If you're in a club and you come to my house, you'll see what club I'm in because I got shit everywhere. Don't want no problems. We leave that stuff outside. And I will do the same. I have no problem with anybody. And that's the only rule I have. And I tell people, hey, come check out my channel. If you know me, especially local people, if you know me and you've seen me out in my cut and whatnot, out in my colors, and you decide you want to jump on and get in my comments, you leave that out. You do not tell anybody. You not get on here and start none of that stuff on my channel. That's unacceptable. And people will end up getting blocked if they do that. Stop it. Believe it or not, I got court ordered to do one of them anger management things once. Who would believe that? Who would believe that? Why would HardWire need anger management? I went in there and told them I wanted to beat all their asses. They're like, okay, you're in the right place then. But there was guys in there. I am not kidding you. There were guys in there that were in there because they spanked their kid. Their kid was being bad, and they come on. What's the world coming to? You shouldn't beat your kids for no reason, but if they deserve a whooping, if they deserve you to grab them by the shirt and throw them up against the wall, or if they deserve you turn them over their knee and give them a whooping, if they deserve it, they should get it. This shit of the court system and children's services and all that started out as a good thing. It's another example of the many things that started out as a good thing, because child abuse is horrible. Okay, it is. Started out as a good thing and went way too far. They totally stripped a parent's ability to be able to do anything. That is awful. And they wonder how we ended up with a generation of shitheads. I didn't see that for a minute. I have not been harassed by MCs on my show yet. I totally expect it to happen eventually, especially if the channel gets big enough. I kind of totally expect eventually somebody to pop in here and start talking crap and say, I know you're with such and such club, and then I have to ban them, or I think I can block them from my show, and hopefully it ends there. Like I know there's a few people I off of the air. If you're really that curious and you want to know what club I'm with, send me an email and ask me. Talk to me on Instagram. I'll tell you. There's no rule against me telling people. privately, but I am not allowed to get on here publicly and say anything about my club. But I will say I love my club. It's a love-hate relationship with any club. There's things about it that really piss me off sometimes. Really, really piss me off sometimes. There's things I love about it. You know, I wouldn't have done it if there wasn't things I love about it. Right, right, GG. Just no reason for to bring any of that kind of beef on here. There's in my opinion, there's no reason for any of that beef in reality. That's my personal opinion. But it happens. And you always, especially the young ones, you get them going out there puffing their chest out. And as soon as they see another club, they're like, oh, hey, we got to go and tell them this and do this and do that. And then they shouldn't be here. They shouldn't be here. You know, you get those guys. And I'm just like, hey, why do that? You know, if they're cool, or if they just stay over there and mind their own business, leave them alone. We'll stay over here and mind our own business. It's pretty simple. But it's some of the young ones, man. They get that patchitis or whatever you want to call it, where they get that makes their chest puff out and makes them 10 feet tall and bulletproof because they know they got people at their back, you know. One of the things that drives me nuts is there are a few places around, well, not right here, but not far from here, where they have signs on their doors that say no colors, but yet they'll allow AMA clubs with cuts on and military clubs with cuts on to go in there. They will not let any 1% club or support club in there with a cut on it. And to me, that is some seriously wrong bullshit. That pisses me off. That ain't right. That just ain't right. If you're going to, you have to do it evenly across the board or it's discrimination. And as much as I hate to say it, you know, my club doesn't get along real well with a whole lot of anybody, other clubs. There are a few that we're friends and cordial with, but at any rate, I'm not sure exactly why, but just the way it is. But we do want to be left alone for the most part, other than the young ones that sometimes that like to cause trouble. We try to just keep to ourselves. When people ask me, and this is something I tell people all the time, people ask me, why would you do that? Why would you join a club? Why would you do that? Look at all the hassle, the politics, all the things that's involved. They say, why would you do that? And I used to try to go through a plethora of explaining. I don't do that anymore. I give them the simple answer is, if you've never done it, you'll never understand it. No matter what you tell somebody, no matter what you say to them, they will not understand it if they've never done it. And that's a fact. No matter how much you try to explain to them, no matter how much you try to say it's good or bad or blah, 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 they'll never understand it. Never. So don't waste your fucking breath. That's the way I am. I don't sit and try to explain it. I'll tell you, I've seen very few people who ever actually got into it that didn't fall in love with it and didn't enjoy doing it. That's about as much as explanation as I can give. But if you haven't done it or you haven't got into it, you haven't tried it, you'll never understand. You'll never understand. I'd like to get more of you guys to buy a damn webcam and come on the show. Unless you're camera shy. I never really been camera shy. I should be, as ugly as I am. I go through cameras because I break them. They all turn on and turn up and look at me and go, and then they fucking shatter. As ugly as I am, I'd be doing the world a favor if I was camera shy. Yeah, I Monday I got a interview at a place called Tallahassee, Tennessee, just north of Montgomery. It's like almost right in between Birmingham and Montgomery. Not sure the name of the place. I think the interviews with a hiring from one of their hiring talent acquisition team, which is in Georgia. So I don't know. I don't know where it'll go. Maybe it'll turn into something. Maybe it won't. I looked up the town, and it seems like a small town. Looks very flat there, so they might have a lot of tornadoes. I don't know. But I'm sure it'd be about 3 hours south of Mike, where Mike's at. So we'll probably have to worry about gators and all that down there, because northern Alabama don't get too many gators, but Alabama does have gators, and that's probably gator country. It's right next to a great big ginormous lake. I think it's called Lake Martin. Humongous lake. I mean, huge. But every time my old lady goes outside, my old lady still smokes. Every time she goes out to smoke a cigarette, she comes back in shivering, going, I'm ready to get rid of this cold shit. I'm ready to move south. Every time I say, well, maybe we should move south, she goes, I'm ready when you are. I'm ready to go somewhere where I can have an extended riding season. You mean me? By trade, I am at least right now, my title is a mechanical design engineer. I design stuff. I sit on SolidWorks, and right now I work on SolidWorks. When I first started, it was Pro E. Pro E is now called Creo. Still the same, basically the same program. And SolidWorks is very similar. I worked for another company that asked me if I knew Inventor, which is an Autodesk AutoCAD product, and I didn't. But I said I can pick up anything, and I worked there for about a year, and I picked up Inventor, so I knew Inventor. And then one of the other places I worked, they designed humongous, and they're in Alliance, Ohio. They designed humongous overhead cranes, and I mean huge ones, not the ones you see in your garage. I mean huge ones like that in steel companies that carry around them big steel ladles, molten steel ladles. And we designed one that went over a waterfall. That's how big this thing was, with a big giant walkway across it. You should see these things when they leave. They're on these big, ginormous trucks with beams that are bigger than a house. They're huge, and that was a fun job. That was a fun job. Sometimes when you're sitting on a computer looking at and you're designing it on some of these things on a computer, it's easy with something that gigantic to lose perspective of just how big these things are. When you go out in the shop and you see these things, and they're just huge. Some of these things are football field size. They're crazy. But and don't let anybody lie to you either. Engineers don't make a lot of money. They do not, unless you've been doing it for 20 years and you get into engineering management. You don't make a lot of money being an engineer. I make okay money, not good money. Steve, I will tell you what I tell everybody. Some things are in weird places on vehicles and construction equipment. I used to hear about that all the time. I'd like to kill the engineer that designed this. The reason why things end up that way is because an engineer has a kind of a very small pool of items that they can use when they design these things, and they're pre-made items with the hookups in certain places, which might end up being inconvenient on your machine. But if they did everything custom to work nicely in every machine, you wouldn't be able to afford them. That's the thing. That's why things end up the way they do sometimes, because you have commodity items, commodity products, hydraulic cylinders, and this just one of many examples. You can't custom engineer a hydraulic cylinder that'll work perfectly for that vehicle, have it custom made. You can't custom make everything that's on it, or your $30,000 car would now be a $230,000 car. You can't, or you won't be able to buy it. If you want things to stay affordable, then that's what you get. You get engineers trying to figure out how to use this and this and this and this and put them together to make a product. And in order to keep it affordable, you have a pool of certain things that you can use. And sometimes they're not real serviceable. They're hard to service with the locations that things end up. But there's not really, like I say, anything that can be done about it. It's not engineered to be difficult. Some engineers are paid decent, but that's not the new guys. The new guys are basically, even when you start out in engineering as a new guy, you end up doing drawings, some modeling, and all the things that the senior engineers don't want to do. You're basically a grunt. You're still a grunt, just like anything else. You end up doing all the stuff the guys that have been around for a while don't want to do. And those guys don't get paid that well. They don't. And they always make you sign a thing saying you will not discuss your salary with anybody, because they don't want people to know that you don't get paid that well. I work for right now. I work for a fairly small local business that designs material handlers, uh, like walk behind forklifts, uh, what they call stackers, which is kind of like it has beams like a forklift, but it has a platform on it instead of forks that's designed to lift, let's say boxes, for so people don't have to hurt themselves lifting boxes. We design stackers, uh, do a lot of custom design. A lot of places don't do custom work. We do. That's kind of the engineering team's job, is to do a lot of custom work and try to come up with new products. We we design a lot of cool stuff. We did scissor lifts for a lot of the Harley Davidson dealerships all across the world. Um, and I enjoy it because when you work for a small company, they're a little more understanding and down to earth, and I don't want to say necessarily care about you, but it's nice in a lot of ways. And I'm only 4 minutes from my house. I literally hop in my vehicle, drive down. I drive down about 5 or 6 blocks from my house, and it's there. So it's close, and that is a big benefit all by itself. Big benefit. But don't get me wrong, I am always kind of in the market to try to find something that'll further my career. At my age, a lot of companies don't really want an old guy. They want a new guy, a younger kid that they can teach things. Or if you're my age, they think you have to already be in it for 30 years. I didn't get my engineering degree until I was older. So it is what it is. I wish they'd have told me how hard engineering is to get into as an older individual, or I may have chosen something else to do. Right now, I'm just thinking about I'd really like to be someplace warmer. It doesn't have such harsh winters. I'm thinking about I'd like an extended riding season, but it's difficult packing up everything you have, especially when you already live paycheck to paycheck, and I do. My bank account's regularly hovering right around $0 all the time. I don't I don't have a 401k, which sucks. I don't have any retirement plan, so I'll be working right up until I'm getting cremated. So I'll be working right up until they're shoving me in an oven to melt me down or whatever. I won't ever get to retire unless I hit the lotto. What'd I do? I think I bumped my phone. Yeah, I'll be working till I'm dead. When I went down and visited Mike, I'd say that I liked Alabama a lot. Unfortunately, I have looked for work, and it's hard when you live in another state to look for work in another state, even if you're telling them I'm going to move down there. A lot of them will look at it, see you don't live locally, and just they won't even talk to you. And coming up with the money to actually move is going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. I'm not really sure how I would accomplish this feat. Some places will help you a little bit, and then I would have to go down there and hunt for a place. It would be difficult, but I'm trying. I'm like throwing some lines out and seeing if I can find something. It ain't like Mike wants to put me up. Come live with me, man. Live with me till you find a job down here. I don't know anybody down there like I don't know anybody that would be able to do that. Mike wouldn't have the ability to be able to, even if he wanted to. I'm sure if he could, he would. Well, I very much appreciate that. I can't have an OnlyFans page. Ain't nobody wants to see my fat ass naked. Nobody, not even the ones that have fetishes for fat people, would like seeing my fat ass. I'm not even hung like a horse, even though technically my actual last name resembles a horse. Is another name for a horse, actually. But yeah, I don't have a Ron Jeremy dangler, which I don't care. So, whatever. I have two wonderful children. I will probably forever regret not having more, but it is what it is. I was hoping for grandkids, but I don't know if that'll ever happen. I don't think it will. Mostly because my favorite person when I was growing up was my grandpa. So I have really looked forward to being one someday. And I don't think that'll ever happen. And it's one of the oh, what's up, Sessa? How you doing? One of the biggest keys to happiness in your life is coming to grips with the things that you'll never have. And there's a lot of things I'll never have. A lot of things I'll probably never do. And I'm okay with that. Sometimes when you're younger, it bothers you. Come to grips with it, get used to the idea of it, and be fine with it. That's kind of one of the keys to being able to be happy in your own life. I'll show everybody that watching and not looking here what Mike said. Where was it? His Only Legs fan pays for his hibachi bills.
Yeah.
I still love that button.
Yeah.
That's some great shit. I gotta make some more samples, man, because these buttons are great. They're fun.
Yeah.
And then, like I say, I like to
Wow, man.
Cheech and Chong one. I gotta find some more Cheech. Cheech and Chong's got so many. I'll bet little phrases. I'll bet you could sample. To see if I can find some more of them. And I like to. Fucking Tom and Jerry. You got to be old to remember Tom and Jerry. There's so many cartoons we had when we were kids, man. I bet you they couldn't even have nowadays. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. It's not necessarily true. I learn something new every once in a while, and I'm an old dog.
Yeah.
Oh man, I had a great time talking to you guys today, man. I enjoyed the show. We're at an hour and a half, which is usually where I try to cut these shows off at. For watchability and replayability, usually a half hour to an hour's best. Like whenever I was in college, the professors used to tell us that the scientific studies have proven that about 45 minutes is about the longest you could really keep somebody's attention without them getting stir crazy and wanting to not watch it or leave anymore. So I doubled that. So an hour and a half is 2 45-minute segments. So if you're watching the show and you get about 45 minutes and you get antsy, pause it, go do something, and then come back and watch the rest of the show. Well, I love you guys. Thank you so much for stopping in. Much love, honor, and respect to each and every one of you. And I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic day and a great week. Don't forget to watch Mike's show every single day, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Eastern, and whatever the hell they got over there in Oregon and California, the way out that way, some other time in another world altogether. At any rate, thank you for stopping in, for hitting it with HardWire. Keep hitting it. Enjoy your life. Don't give a shit what anybody else says. Do your own thing. Till next week, God bless.
Hitting it with HardWire, we're burning it bright. Living on the edge, we'll ride through the night. No fear in our hearts, just the roar of the steel. Together we rise, now this life feels real. Yeah, held a new path on that twisted black line. A YouTube dream where his past can't confine. With every rev, he's reclaiming his soul, teaching the world how to ride, how to roll.